And welcome to the second video for Google Classroom. This one I'm just going to focus on the individual class settings, so this one will be pretty brief. I do currently have open a class that I actually taught the past school year, just so you can see how some various settings affect um, what displays here. So to find the individual class settings, you're going to go over to the upper right where you have your gear icon and click on that, and it'll take you to your class settings screen. So class details, so we named our class Algebra 2A in this case, so you can change the name, you can add a description or change. There's the section, the room, and the subject again. So just like when we created the class, you can change them later if you decide you don't like the way you've named it or want to put less or more information in. In the general section here, you have your class code, which is what the students will need to join. So this little arrow pointing down here, if you select that, you can display the code, which just puts it on the screen. And down here, this will full screen it. So it's really big. That's all the students can see if you display it on your Promethean. So X to close it out. Or there was an icon down there that will essentially unfull screen it, but you still need to exit out. The other option is you can copy this. So just copy it essentially so you can then paste it someplace else. You can reset the code, which will scramble it. So if you have students who are trying to log into your course because they got the code from one of their friends just to be fun, you can change the code and that'll stop that from going on. Or the last option is disable, which means the code, you cannot join with the code anymore. So then you'd have to re-enable it and it'll reassign yet another new code. The stream is referring to the list of assignments and whatnot that you saw coming down at the very beginning. So these options here are just who can post and comment. So only teachers can post or create comments. I would recommend that one. Students can only comment, meaning they can post on something you've made. Students can create posts and can comment, which I would definitely not recommend that one. So I'd leave mine as only teachers can post and comment. The classwork on stream, you have show condensed, you can hide all, and you can show attachments and details. So right now, if I exit out of this in the upper left, this one right here, Brian Heidel posted a new assignment via formative. This is a classwork notification. So this is condensed. It just says that a new assignment has been added. So we'll flip through those so you can see what the various things are. So if I go to show attachments and details, and then click save in the upper right, you now notice that it gives me my notification, but also shows the link the students have to go to, who has turned it in. Assigned is students who have received the assignment but have not yet turned it in. So of my 12 students, 5 completed it, 7 still have it assigned. Now, this gets a bit tricky because sometimes the students have to mark it done. So if they don't mark it done, they may be finished, but they have not moved over here yet. And then the last option is hide notifications, which entirely just makes them disappear. So now you notice there are no notifications on this page that any assignments have been made. So I'll put it back to, I prefer the condensed, whoops, wrong one, just to save room on scrolling for me. So now it's back to, where'd they go? Oh, there's the condensed one. So back to our settings. Show deleted items. So if you post an assignment that decide you don't want it, you can delete it back out. If you leave that on, it'll still show up there, but it'll show up that it has been deleted and only teachers can view deleted items. So even if you still delete it and flip the check mark, the students, it still won't show up for students. It'll only show up for you. So I'll leave it off. Guardian summaries. Parents can opt to receive email, essentially weekly summaries of all the classes and classroom their students are members of. So this toggle will include your class in a Guardian summary to the students. So if you have it off, students won't receive any information about your class in the updates. If you leave it on, you'll be included. Down here, you have an option to create a Meet link for your specific class, and then it'll show up on the front page if you so choose. And you can make that link after you create it. So you create a link. So now I can make it visible to students or not. So even if I make the link, I can turn it off so they can't see it all the time. Now, once they have that, though, they can always access that. There are probably better ways to set up your meets than using the classroom function here. Down at the bottom is you can have grades entered in Google Classroom. I would only recommend you mess with this if you're going to do all of your grading in Google. There is a grades tab with a grade book. So the overall grade calculation, you can have it not give them a grade, total points. You can weight by category. You can let the students see their overall grade. So I can't click this because I'm not assigning a grade in Classroom. So if I do total points here, I can then click the toggle over. And then if you want to grade by category, you can add your grade categories here, homework, so on and so forth, and you can assign them the default points, etc. So, homework, so on and so forth. You can just keep adding what the default point is. So you can make all of your homework worth 10 points, all of your tests worth 100, so on and so forth. But if you're not doing all of your grading here, since we're entering grades in Skyward, I wouldn't recommend you use this. Anyway. So that's just a brief overview of the settings for each individual class. When we come back next time, we'll talk about what things show up in your stream and how to create and things like that.